On this episode of Rock Down South, we sit down with Them Dirty Roses. This is a killer episode that you definitely don't want to miss. We hope you all enjoy. Let's go.
Hey, this is James.
And this is Andrew. We're from Them Dirty Roses, and you're listening to Rock Down South.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Rock Down South, your home for rock and country music. Today, Joe and I had the pleasure of speaking with James Ford and Andrew Davis of the rock band Them Dirty Roses. And if you've never listened to Them Dirty Roses, you are truly missing out. These guys are a hard-hitting southern rock band with some absolutely incredible tunes. We talk all about how the band started up, college football, and their brand new album, Lost in the Valley of Hate and Love, Volume 1. And of course, we talk about a whole lot more than that. So without further ado, here's the show. Andrew, James, how are you guys doing today?
Doing
Doing
well, man.
How about you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Joe, you doing all right?
I'm doing great.
That's always good to hear.
Glad to have you guys on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time. We're going to talk about some rock and roll, the new album, stuff like that. But before we get into everything, I think I read that you guys are from Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, where in Alabama? I think Joe's from Alabama.
We're from Gadsden, Northeast Alabama.
Nice. Yeah, my sister lived in Asheville for about 15, 20 years. Just south.
Oh,
of
Yeah, we
there.
know Asheville.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just right up the road.
Yeah, I grew up in Dothan, but I lived in Trussville for a number of years, and so I've been to Gadsden a few times, and Rainbow City around in there.
That's actually
That's
I'm
where we
from.
all lived. Went to school.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome. So hopefully you guys are Alabama fans, right?
I am, but
The rest of us are Auburn fans. War
Okay.
Eagle. Hey.
So you guys getting fights on the road during football season?
only on the
No,
Iron Bowl
no.
days.
Well, I mean, shit. We can't. Here recently, we haven't had too much to talk about as far as football goes. Dadgum is on the Auburn side of it.
Right. Right. Well, maybe your new coach will help out there.
Yeah, that'd be big.
Just not on Iron Bowl weekend, you know.
Right. Yeah, hopefully not on Iron Bowl weekend.
I don't like all this talk of Alabama and Auburn sports. We're all about Georgia Bulldogs over here.
Hey,
Man,
now.
yeah, that's a point of contention with me. And it's sad because I live over here in Georgia now. And, you know, wearing a big Roll Tide shirt everywhere, I get some nasty looks.
Joe knows about that.
Yeah. Well, there's quite a few Roll Tide shirts around in Georgia, though. So it's not
Yeah.
you're not by yourself, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's comforting.
Yeah. We're at in Georgia.
Up in Cartersville.
Okay. Yeah, not too
Yeah,
far
just
from
right.
us.
Yeah, right up the road from you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So where's the band based out of? I thought it might have been based out of Nashville. Or do you have members that live there?
Our drummer lived up in Nashville. Well, I mean, we all lived in Nashville for 7, 8, some long amount of years. And so it was based up there, and our record label's still up there. Our manager's there, our agent's there. It's, so it's like it's headquarters, but we don't live up there anymore, actually.
Okay. Do most of you guys call Georgia home now?
No, actually, I think I'm the only one. The rest, everybody else is still back in Gadsden, keeping the hometown strong.
Oh,
Hell
cool,
yeah,
cool.
Dude. We Frank's still in Nashville now. He the drummer, he just closed on a house back here in Gadsden, so he'll be moving back sometime whenever we're off the road and he can move his stuff out.
Right.
Gotcha.
But then it'll be 3 against 1, Bama versus Georgia, boy.
Right.
Hey, can you guys tell us how the band came together?
Yeah, James, get that one.
We I moved to Nashville in 2010, I want to say. We all grew up together. We were all in different bands all through high school and everything like that. And I was always a drummer in all the bands I was in. And I would write songs for most of the songs for the bands. And then, the lead singer always quits, that whole story. So I moved to Nashville. I was going to be a songwriter, It's just very naive of me. And so I got there, and I was like, as soon as I got there, though, I was like, dude, we should just start a freaking rock band up in here. And so I called Frank and we're like, yo, let's start a band. He was like, all right, sounds good. So then we just started calling buddies that we knew who could rock out, and then it happened.
The rest was history.
Cool. And where did the name Them Dirty Roses come from? How'd that come about?
Get him with that one, Andrew. You can tell.
Yeah. So, right before everybody had moved up there, James and one of his buddies, they took a walk down Broadway, and just because it was probably the same day that the band officially like got together. And
Oh yeah,
so-
like the same hour.
yeah, the same hour. And so James was like, man, we got to come up with a name now. So he's walking around, and street merchants are always peddling stuff up there. And one of them walked up, and he was like, man, I got roses on sale for $10. Buy a rose for your girl, buy a rose for any girl, whatever. So his friend was like, man, I'll give you $10, but I don't want them dirty roses. And James was like, man, that's there you go. That's it right there.
Oh, that's interesting.
It
Interesting way
worked,
the
it
band name
worked.
came.
Yeah. So you guys did the whole Broadway stuff and played in all the clubs and bars there for a while, or what?
We played at a couple. I think we did one Tootsie's show down
Yeah.
there. It was funny. We did like the 11 a.m. gig.
Yeah.
And you got to play like 4 hours straight. We're like, so we played like the set like twice,
same
and a
set
half
twice.
or something.
Gotcha.
It's like, hey man, you want us to play? Can't you see again, dude? We'll do it for $20. It'll be the fourth time.
Yeah.
But like,
and then
they were like, oh man, we love it. Yeah, we want y'all to come back tomorrow. But could you learn like 50 like top 40 country songs? And we're like, no.
how about absolutely not?
And so that was kind of that.
Well, yeah, and that was the deal. Is like, man, we want to play our music, and obviously, when you're starting out, you've got to play other people's music. Well, you don't have to, but it's an easy path to get some money up for the studio and all that. Being as how we don't want to get real jobs and whatnot. So yeah, you kind of have to play covers, but that's not the end goal for us.
We were doing covers too. We would do a bunch of covers. We just thought they were covers we liked to play.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, can you do this? And it's like, dude, no.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
No,
learn
not really.
like whatever's like just out,
Yeah, I don't know any Luke Bryan. Sorry.
I don't want to play on Broadway that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So when did you take Them Dirty Roses to the next level? What was that point where you said, I think we're getting to the next level here, or we're all in?
We probably have different.
That's when we started. Like that was like the prerequisite to being in the band. It's like, look, dude, like this is ride or die.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
You don't even have to like Ben never played bass before. Like, you know what I mean? He wasn't a bass player, but it's like I knew he'd be there.
Yeah.
So it's like, you'll friggin' learn eventually. It's gonna take some time. We'll get there. Now he's one of the baddest bass players in the land, dude. Excuse me. I'm just like those Australians.
Oh, I knew it was gonna happen at some point. But yeah, I think obviously, like James was saying, like from the beginning, yes, we were all into it, and we're like, nobody else knows how to do anything else. This is pretty well, or nobody else wants to use their knowledge of anything else that they know how to do. This is pretty well gonna be like the thing. But for me personally, I think 2019 is when it all just like, we always said like, dude, this is it. This is for life. But then in 2019, something happened, and it was just, oh, wait, this is actually possible. We're not just like trying to hype ourselves up saying that this is going to be a thing. Like it's turning into a thing now.
That makes sense. It makes total sense. And so let's talk about your sound, because, we love it, straight ahead, Southern rock. I think I heard you guys said you had, Skynyrd and Hank as influences. But what other influences did you guys have, past or present, that influence your music?
So, growing up, I was always, both of my parents were big fans of music. My dad was all into the 80s rock stuff. And so early on, Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue came in, and Metallica kind of came into the picture for me earlier. And Then my mom was always a fan of kind of at the time, nobody knew what to call it, but now it's the 90s alternative stuff. We had this radio station called 1077 The X, and they were just on the cutting edge of, that entire sound as it developed. And a lot of that kind of stuff influenced me personally, just as the melodies and the grooves, and then the guitar playing from the 80s was the big thing. So kind of meld those two together, and you've got the my influence rap sheet, if you will.
Nice, man. Your parents sound like my kind of people.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. My first concert was 6 years old to go see Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was
Hootie.
Yes, sir. And then I actually ended up meeting him one night in Nashville, just randomly at a bar. He came in and bought me a beer for no reason, and then jumped up and played.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a cool experience.
Yeah. Andrew, you told us your first concert. So James, what was your first concert?
My first concert, I was really, really young. I think about 3.5, something like that. Was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's a
Yeah,
good one.
man. Boogie Down.
Oh yeah.
So your guys' songs have a lot of heart and soul in them, which I feel is kind of missing from a lot of songs these days.
Yeah, well, speaking of soul, that would segue pretty well into some of James's influences.
Yeah, like Frank is my little brother. And so like I remember one of his first like records that he asked for like as a little kid was like James Brown's like greatest hits and stuff. And so he's always been grooving. And I really connected with like Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Patsy Cline, Percy Sledge, like those kind of just really soulful type voices. Always, I was like, whoa, this is just so crazy. I never thought like about singing or anything like that, but like those type of voices just always how they could just convey so much in just like a word,
Even an inflection. They're just,
yeah, just how they would say a certain thing. It was like, oh, I know what you mean, bro.
Yeah, it kind of pulls a feeling out of you. You get this,
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah. So where do you guys draw the inspiration from for your songs?
All over, really. I mean, just life, I guess. And we all try and pay attention to what's going on around us. Like just, like some songs, a lot of the songs aren't even necessarily like like about me or whoever. Like could be about somebody that I know that's doing this or that, and I'll just put myself in their shoes and kind of write what it would be like to be them or something.
For sure.
So let's talk about the latest album that you guys put out, Lost in the Valley of Hate and Love, Volume 1. Tell us about making this album and how long it took.
Phew, it took forever, just from start to finish. We were in the pre-production stage of it for probably 2 years, just doing demos. James would come with a song idea completed or, half completed, and we'd all flesh it out and put parts down to it, go back and forth between these things. And, just because we didn't have the budget to go into the studio yet, but then also because some of the songs were, we knew that there was more to them, that we could squeeze more out of them, I guess, if you will. And so I mean, that was a really fun process too. And I kind of missed having all that time to do pre-production, because you go in a lot more well prepared as opposed to coming in and just like, all right, cool. We got 2 weeks and I think we all know the songs, so let's see what happens. Which is fun.
Yeah, let's record this shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun too to do it that way, because your back's up against the wall, and all eyes are on you, pressure's on, and there's a uniqueness to that too. But this one was pretty well put together, and by the time we went to the first actual like studio session that we did up in Nashville with Joe Carroll over at Treasure Isle Studios Records. I don't know exactly what he calls it. It's Treasure Isle though. And yeah, that
Shout
was
out to Joe Carroll, one of the baddest dudes out there. He is the bomb.
that is the truth.
We're not worthy.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's got an entire series on mixing, and I mean he's Grammy nominated and all kinds of that good stuff.
Yeah, we like the album a lot, and can kind of comparing it to some of the past EPs. I mean, it's not that much different, but I do feel it sounds a little bit more polished and slightly maybe a little bit more modern sounding, and maybe the recording than some of the past, and maybe a little bit more upbeat and fun rocking in parts.
Well,
Yeah.
funny story about that first EP is so that was like the first time that Frank or Ben had like ever even been in a studio, period. I think it was the first time I'd ever like recorded like singing before, because I've never sang or played guitar until this band. I just had like a few songs that I'd written that we never recorded with some of my other bands, that I was writing in Nashville. And I was like, shit, let's go to the studio and like record something. Just, start a band, got the name, got to get some tunes out.
Yeah, step one.
Yeah, like let's hit it. And so that's where that was. But like, yeah.
To build on that, it was also one of those kind of rushed endeavors where it was like, all right, here's the songs, let's go. We got like 4 days, and with this one, we actually each got the chance to sort of sit down and flesh out the
hear
parts
the song
that we
before
wanted.
we were recording it.
Yeah, hear the song before we were recording it too. But yeah, so that was, I mean, really it just came together with a little bit more thought behind it. And of course we all got better at what we were doing, over the course of those years. I got better at guitar, Frank got better at drums, James got better at singing, songwriting, and Ben was better at bass. And so I hope that it came across that way, like it was a step forward.
It definitely sounded like that to me. I liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I personally love every track on the new record. I mean, some of the highlights like Holy Roller, Sunday Drunk, Highway My Home, and Hell of a Note, some of my favorites, but every song is real good. Do you guys have a favorite track you like playing live, or just in general that you enjoy?
Hell, we probably all have a different favorite. I don't know. I kind of like, maybe it's because we've only recently added it in, but I'm still pretty stuck up on Highway. That one's real fun to play.
Yeah.
It's got good dynamics to it. You can kind of push and pull and, feel around. I like that one a lot.
I like doing Sunday Drunk's pretty fun for me. It's pretty, I don't know, it always kind of centers me back into like we do it semi early in the set, like what, 4th, 5th song, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So it kind of is like, okay, here we go. After that song, it seems like I'm back. I'm like, if I'm not where I need to be, I'm there after that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's got that big belting chorus on it that like you really just get to let loose on, and it's one of those big moments where it's like, okay, cool. Now it's on, I mean, obviously it's on from the beginning, but it's sort of like that early set checkpoint. Yeah.
If that goes well, oh yeah.
Exactly.
Like, okay, I gotta do some adjusting here.
Right.
Jaeger bomb to the stage.
Jaeger bomb time.
So this album's titled with the Volume 1. Is there going to be a Volume 2?
You know it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's actually being worked on right now. We've got all the stuff done for it. It's just in post-production, any of the little tweaks that we got to do, and mixing, mastering, and oh shit, forgot about this part, that kind of deal.
Gotcha.
Damn, I thought you forgot about something for real there. You got me. I was like, what did we miss?
Oh no.
Yeah, we actually just got our first mix back. One of the songs last week when we were out.
Yeah. So far it's coming together well. We don't have any hard release dates or anything yet, but it's definitely on the horizon. It'll be It'll come quicker than this one did. There won't be 3-4 years in between records now.
Oh no, yeah. Hopefully that'll never happen again. We're
Awesome.
gonna try and constantly be putting out tunes like as fast as we can.
Absolutely.
So what do you guys think about this kind of like resurgence of Southern rock? I mean, there's a lot of, kind of Southern rock and, hard rock and country bands that are out there right now. Some that you've toured with, like you mentioned, Blackberry Smoke. I know you've toured with Whiskey Myers, which is one of our favorites, of course. We interviewed them a while back. But it feels like there's kind of a resurgence of this sound coming out right now.
Yeah, it's a revival, resurgence, and like it's changing. It's not just the same sound coming back. It's got different elements to it. Man, it's great. I love hearing any of the new bands that we're on the road with. Some of our friends like Tanner Usry, the Damn Shames, Robert John and the Wreck. Love all of those guys, and they're just great. It's great to hear.
Yeah. I dig it. I think I love all the new expansion of anything. I think people should just start doing whatever they feel like, man. Like throw out, all kinds of different mashups of everything. I've been really digging some of the new tunes coming out lately.
Have you guys been on tour in Europe before?
Yes, sir. We did 2 tours in Europe, actually.
Awesome. So the scene there seems like this style of music seems a lot bigger in Europe than in the States for some reason. Is that what you guys kind of experience over there?
I mean, it's definitely wild. Our first time over there, it was, selling out within 5% of the cap of selling out every night, people just loving it. And in between songs, they're just dead silent, waiting for you, just hanging on every word you say. Nobody's on their phones unless they're recording the show. I mean, it's definitely a change, but I see it coming back around in the States now. I think Europe just caught onto it a little bit earlier. I think it's people are starting to catch on to the wave stateside too.
Is there any artists that you guys are looking to collab with in the future?
I don't know, James, what you think?
I don't know. I mean, I would always if we've had a few good hangs, like hangout sessions where that it's the writing would probably work well. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I'm open to all kinds of people.
Yeah. Back when Cocaine and Whiskey first came out, I remember every now and then we'd hang out around Jelly Roll and his crew, and we always were joking about like, dude, you gotta remix that song, dude. You gotta do that. And so if he ever listens to this, give us a call. That'd still be a fun one to do.
We got to get Jelly Roll in the mix. That would be awesome.
Yeah, man.
Jelly Roll is a great dude, man.
Yes, he is.
So his next question is what we close with and ask everyone.
All right.
So first question, what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Don't take that extra shot of gin at the end of the night, because gin is not meant to shoot and you will black out. I mean, that's just 21-year-old self specifically. I just, had a couple of bad experiences just walking into the bars fresh and just like, what's that bottle of liquor? That looks fun.
Good advice. What about you, James?
Let's see. My 21-year-old self, I'd say never turn down any kind of experience. Always just go to that other bar, or go do that other thing, or go hang out with that other person, do this or that. Anything that you did turn down, I wouldn't do that. I would just go ahead and get it all out the way back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't leave anything behind.
Yep.
You can't get some stuff back.
That's the truth.
I see your cooler is stocked with some whiskey and some Miller Lite. What's your guys' go-to drink these days?
It's kind of across the board. I mean, it
I've
really.
been staying away from beer recently. It's just making me so bloated, and I get so full so fast. So if I drink anything, it'll be like a vodka water.
Yeah, I've been just going to the when I'm at home anyway, I've been going to the liquor store, just looking at like the $50 range of the bottles of whiskey. So every couple of weeks I'll have a new one through. But on the road, if I can help it, which is not often, but I try to stay away from too much hard liquor because I don't really have that off switch. So it accelerates the process of, being too drunk. So I try to stick with beers, but like I said, that's not always, it doesn't always work in my favor.
Gotcha.
I've been really liking those, Lone River Ranch Waters lately, the tequila seltzers, which again just throws out that whole thing that I just said about not drinking liquor. But yeah, that's only 5%. I wouldn't call it liquor.
There you go.
It's liquor adjacent.
It's a canned cocktail.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that term, liquor adjacent.
Yeah.
So as you know, this is Rock Down South. So what is something, or maybe a couple things that come to mind, that you love about the South?
Breakfast. Easily.
The summertime when you take a shower and then you walk out your front door and you're soaking wet, sweating before you get to your car. I
Yeah.
love that. That's
Love that. Just don't even need to shower. You'll just sweat it
AKA
off.
humidity, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Mosquitoes. The mosquitoes, they're gorgeous this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. The mosquitoes are great. The humidity's great.
Let's see,
Yeah.
something about the South. Grits, man.
Oh man, yes, grit. That's a good one. And Waffle House.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Got to have a good Waffle House around.
Do y'all hit those up after the shows?
I mean, pretty often. Not always after. Sometimes the morning after. Just
I got you.
depends on where you got to be and who's hungry at the time. But I try to convince I think I have more of a love for Waffle House than most people. So everybody else gets sick of it. You're like, dude, this is 3 days in a row. You have got to chill on eating this Waffle House.
We've been to some good ones across the country, though. There's some very, very good Waffle Houses around.
There are. It's like Waffle Homes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Andrew and James, for being a part of the show today. Where can people find and connect with you guys online?
Everywhere, honestly. I mean, anywhere that you typically traverse on there. I'm not sure we're on like Reddit or 4chan or anything, but as far as Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, all of the normal social medias.
Yeah, www.themdirtyroses.com.
That's the big one.
All right. And you have anything going on that people should know about or coming up?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I mean, we're on tour all summer, but we're going to be hitting the road with Giovanni and the Hired Guns throughout June, ending that tour up at Rooster Tail in Indiana with Blackberry Smoke and Ward Davis. And then right back on the road, got a couple of great festivals this summer. Summer Bash in Indiana with some of our friends. We're headlining that festival. And then later on in the year, we've got some great stuff, and we're hitting the West Coast for the first time in August, I believe. I don't think that one's been announced, so I won't give any details about it, but we're going to the left coast.
Thank you so much for listening to the show today. We hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Joe and I had an absolutely fantastic time talking with Andrew and James. Those guys are super cool, and we absolutely love their band. We'll definitely make sure to catch them live when they come through town next time. So make sure to go follow Them Dirty Roses on all of their social media pages and check out their latest album titled Lost in the Valley of Love and Hate, Volume 1. You can find all our content at rockdownsouth.com and go make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for the latest updates. Leave us a 5-star review if you can. We would really appreciate it. And as always, the views and opinions expressed by our guests are theirs and don't necessarily reflect our own. I'm Mark, and you've been listening to Rock Down South. See y'all next time.